So our last topic then is a Fantastic Four cast finally announced. Oh my God! So again, we were bringing up Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, but let's read on what else is written here on from IGN and from Instagram. Marvel Studios has not only revealed a new July 25th, 2025 release date for the Fantastic Four, but also the big news that it will star Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, she's the sister of Queen Elizabeth in The Crown, for anybody who's seen that, and she's also the blonde chick in the new Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise.
That's right, yep.
Then we have Ebon Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm in The Thing. He's the guy who plays Cousin in The Bear. Fantastic show. Also, if you watch the movie, the new one with Jennifer Lawrence, where she's in a comedy. You know what I'm talking about?
Is it No Hard Feelings? No.
No Hard Feelings, yes.
Is that it? Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
He's funny in that, too.
He's in that movie. He's the guy who he has a tow truck, and he tries to tow Jennifer Lawrence's car. Hilarious in that. And then finally, we have Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, who's the dude who did all the Stranger Things guy.
Eddie Munson from
Stranger. And also, he's in Game of Thrones. Did you know about this? He plays.
Oh, no, I didn't.
He plays guard number 2 in like the third to last episode of Game of Thrones.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere, man. But yeah, so then that's the cast. Marvel Studios announced the big news on X/Twitter with an awesome poster that features all of these characters together celebrating Valentine's Day. In a nice touch, it also includes the lovable robot Herbie and includes an image on the wall of Moss-Bachrach's Ben Grimm as a NASA astronaut before he was turned into the Thing. The rumors for the casting of the Fantastic Four have been some of the biggest floating around in the world of Marvel, and now we finally have our answers. It also confirms John Krasinski, who starred as Reed Richards in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, will not be reprising the role in this film, at least in the starring role. You never know with the multiverse. Wink, 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 wink. Yeah, so I like that they put this out as soon as, Madam Web came out, because they were like, don't pay attention. Yeah, look, we gotta
think about that.
Kevin Feige was probably sweating, thinking, okay, that's when we have to release this announcement.
I didn't even think about that. Well, it was on Valentine's Day, so I don't know if there was more, because there was like a Happy Valentine's Day, almost like a card from the Fantastic Four, from our family to yours.
This whole week also has been an X-Men or Fox announcement stuff. Deadpool 3 on Sunday, then we had Fantastic Four on Valentine's Day, and then yesterday, today's the 17th, yesterday was X-Men 97, the animated series.
Oh my God, the trailer X-Men 97. We're going to talk about that for sure.
It's either because Kevin Feige was like, it's time to give him something, or he went, all right, guys, Madam Web's out. We got to distract these guys. X-Men, Deadpool 3, Fantastic. Just put it all out. Put it all out now. And so now, yes, we talked a ton about it today, Madam Web. But here we are, loving Marvel still, because we still have all this X-Men food that we got to eat. And it tastes delicious. It's so good. Such good stuff. I'm all for it. I want to talk about this casting list real quick, though, because I want to bring up Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. I'm going to give this guy some props, because when I first saw his face appear and they were like, that's the guy, my immediate thought was, no, man, come on.
Really?
No, I don't want, it's supposed to be like, he's supposed to be this hot supermodel type of character, like he's supposed to be Chris Evans from like the original.
Joseph Quinn is a hot supermodel type?
I don't think he is. But then 2 things appeared in my head. Maybe one thing appeared in my head. I don't know. One, not a lot going on up here. The thing that came up in my head was that this series or this movie, apparently they're trying to base it off of 1963. So if we're talking about who's the sexy supermodel type in the 60s, Joseph Quinn actually fits that image perfectly, because then you see the poster of him in that Fantastic Four image, and he has like he's got like a button up shirt, and like his hair is combed really nicely, like in the 60s.
All-American boy.
He's clearly an all-American boy who like every girl thinks he's so attractive. Oh my God, it's. That's what was hot and hip at the time, was his type of persona. So I already see him being this guy who's like, hey doll, like, how you doing? Like, you wanna go catch up, blah 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 blah, trying to hit on girls in our current generation, and all of them are like, That's really cringe. What? And he's like, well, what is cringe? What, are you cringing for what? Like he wouldn't understand the reference because he's
Yeah.
old or he lives in a different timeline. But then the other thing was that Joseph Quinn, Johnny Storm is supposed to be really good friends with Peter Parker. And that really caught my attention because I don't know if I could have imagined like this supermodel hot guy going, hey, Tom Holland, let's go do things that are hot.
Yeah.
And then Tom Holland has to be like, okay, mate, let's go do things that are hot. Yeah, he's listen. Tom Holland's a handsome dude. He's a good looking guy. But
I think Joseph Quinn is also British.
Oh, that too. Well, so if you put their faces together, like the chemistry looks like it would totally work with the two of them. I saw somebody online saying Joseph Quinn looks like he could be Tom Holland's brother, which they thought was a bad thing, but I'm like, no, that would actually be even better because, like, man, they're good friends. They almost look like each other. Like, they're cool together. I mean, also the actors are both British. They're probably going to get along a lot better than they normally would. Not because they're British. Nah, that's probably why, actually. I've noticed Tom Holland gets along really well with British people in general because he's British as well. All right, there. I threw it out there. British people, you're all friends now. You're welcome. I just saved all of Britain.
All British people know each other.
God save the king. Listen, that's my thoughts on Joseph Quinn. What do you think about Joseph Quinn, though, Raul?
I like Joseph Quinn. Yeah, he is British. He was born and raised in South London, actually. So,
in South London.
Yeah, I think he's.
I had to do it.
I love Joseph Quinn. I love this whole cast. It's funny because this is in recent days, like at least in the recent weeks, we've been hearing a lot of rumors about these four people specifically playing these roles. And it's funny. I'm surprised that it ended up being. Well, of course, we knew Pedro Pascal for a while, but I'm surprised it ended up being the same people for the official announcement. So yeah, I see the official announcement. I'm like, oh, okay. So basically everybody that has been rumored for the past, 4 or 5 weeks for these roles. And it's great. I love Joseph Quinn in Stranger Things. I thought he was, for being a new character that you only got to see for one season, he immediately kind of drew me and endeared me to him, and I really enjoyed his character. So the fact that Joseph Quinn was able to do that and have that effect on me, at least, is a testament to how good of an actor he is. And I really enjoyed watching him in Stranger Things. Also, he's going to be in the Quiet Place prequel.
Oh, really?
Quiet Place Day One. Yeah, he's in there.
Oh, wow! I didn't even realize that was him.
Yeah. So I love this. Ebon Moss-Bachrach. Yeah, from The Bear. He was in. I really liked him in. There was that mini series on Hulu, The Dropout, with Amanda Seyfried, and Ebon Moss-Bachrach plays like the reporter that's like trying to dig into. He does a great job. Yeah, he's trying to dig into everything that's going on with the company, and he's great in that show. I really remember enjoying him. He's also kind of, sort of, already in the MCU if we're going by recent news about the Netflix shows being canon. Because in Punisher, he plays David Lieberman, who is like Punisher's sidekick. He's Micro. Yeah, so he's kind of already in the MCU. We'll see how much they pick from the Netflix shows. Similar to how Mahershala Ali is in Luke Cage, and then he's going to be Blade. I'm curious about those two things, how they're going to settle that. But already involved in the MCU. Vanessa Kirby, Kirby. I like the connection.
It didn't even hit me. Jack Kirby, Vanessa Kirby.
That's the only reason they hired her. No, I love her. I love her in the Mission Impossible movies. And God, what else did we say she was in? I can't remember now.
The Crown.
The Crown. Okay, so I haven't seen The Crown, but
so good.
I've heard she's really great in it. Yeah, and then Pedro Pascal. Like everybody's into Pedro Pascal right now. He's like the it guy, right? With everything from The Mandalorian to The Last of Us to now Fantastic Four. He's getting his fingers, he's digging his fingers into all the big genre franchises now. But he's so great. He does such a great job, and I love. We talked about it last time when we heard the rumors. I love the idea of him playing Reed Richards, and yeah, this just confirms.
I think I'm gonna have to see him in action before I can say that I like him as Reed
really.
Richards. Yeah,
Why?
because listen, don't get me
Why do you say
wrong.
that?
I think he's a fantastic actor. I just,
Ah,
I just
fantastic.
don't. I didn't even realize I did that. Good job, Kevin. I think he's a fantastic actor. There it is again. But he's also. I just don't picture him as Reed Richards. I just don't see it. Maybe. I mean, there's so many different versions of him in general. So eventually, I'm sure I'm gonna just be like, yeah, it's fine.
Well,
But I want to.
what is it that's what why are you not seeing it?
I guess I don't see the asshole in him just yet. I don't see it fully.
Hmm,
Although he has
the
it really
asshole in him.
he has it down pretty well in The Last of Us in the beginning, but it's more of a gruff, quiet type rather than like an actual dude who speaks super smart and just treats everybody like he's better than them. There has to be this sense from Mr. Fantastic that he is kind of full of himself, and
Hmm.
also there's like there's little bits of energy of he could be a villain, like he could be a possible villain. Like in the comics,
It
there's so
depends
many
on what
moments.
direction. Yeah, it depends on what direction they're going with him.
Like if
Yeah.
he doesn't have that darkness within him when he speaks to people as well, like I feel like he'll be missing something, which I think he's gonna do just fine. I think he's gonna nail it. I just in my head I can't see it yet, and so once I see footage and images and stuff like that, I think the picture will be painted really well in my head. But I'm excited about the cast in general. Vanessa Kirby and what was the name? Rob Elben Moss.
Eben
He's gonna
Moss-Bachrach.
be he's gonna be fantastic as well. So is Vanessa Kirby. Again, Joseph Quinn. I'm into it now. I'm into him. He's gonna be awesome. I think, especially with what they're going for timeline wise.
Ah,
Um, that's gonna be so cool. Also, let me just throw in this because I want to go back to the 1963 thing.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I I had that. Maybe I've said this on the show before. I've always had this theory that if they ever wanted to reboot the MCU, they should start it off in the 60s and like do a 1960s MCU
Hmm.
universe. Like
The
MCU
silver,
universes.
yeah, kind of going by the silver age of comics from the 50s to the
Yeah,
60s,
that
or
way
50s to the 70s. Yeah.
you could quite literally copy the comics like image for image at that point because they all were made in that timeline. They were made at that time. Captain America maybe didn't need to freeze in ice. He could be in his 40s or something when this new reboot begins, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have like an older, more jaded Captain America already right from the get go, so he has 10 years to do that kind of character arc. There's so much you can do with it, but I feel like if they are setting this whole thing up in a way that soft reboots. Excuse me, let me sneeze there
Bless
for
you.
a second. That was the universe of something affecting my body just now. Got
Mercury
feeling.
retrograde.
Yeah, thanks, Doctor Strange. Anyways, I think if they do end up doing a soft reboot of the series eventually, I wouldn't be mad if they
Hmm.
soft rebooted into the Fantastic Four's universe in the 1960s. So,
Hmm.
like, Reed Richards has already met Spider-Man and Captain America and all these other characters, but in his universe.
Hmm.
So we get a glimpse of his universe, but then him and his family get taken to Secret Wars to go fight against our current MCU.
Interesting. So you're going with the idea that it's a separate universe.
I think not only is it a separate universe, I think they're in the same universe as the X-Men at the end of the Marvels.
Huh. All right.
Because think about it,
Interesting.
they never specified what
Yeah.
time it was in that universe either. That'd be
Well,
pretty cool if the Fox characters that Kevin Feige's trying to put out all belong to the same
hmm.
universe, and they end up meeting the MCU.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I was thinking it was going to be our universe, but and I first of all, I love the idea of a period film set in the 60s, just with
Damn.
the Fantastic Four, just kind of giving me like the Incredibles kind of vibes,
Oh
I
yeah.
love this, I love the idea of seeing the Fantastic Four in the 60s aesthetic and just a period film with the Fantastic Four in the 60s. I thought I was speculating that it would be we see the origins of the Fantastic Four, and then by the end of the movie, they get taken into the negative zone. And that's where they've been all this time. And then by the time we get to like Secret Wars or whatever, they get taken out of the negative zone, kind of like similar to like Captain America when he was frozen in ice, but they get taken out of the negative zone into our current timeline.
I mean, that could be where they put the Secret Wars world, the battle world.
Yeah. Well, I've heard theories that they just might convert the Void and have that be the MCU's version of Battleworld.
That too, they could totally do that.
Everybody ends up in the Void, and
wow,
yeah,
that's a good idea. That's a fantastic idea. There it is again. Every time. Yeah, well, listen, I'm extremely excited about this casting. I'm glad it's just finally out as well, because now you know that Pedro Pascal is going to get interviews at some point, and they're going to start asking about Fantastic Four, and he's going to have to start talking about it. He better have a group chat with his Fantastic Four family. Let me just say that right now. The text group chat should happen. But yeah, I think it's out in the open. We finally know the news. We don't have to keep on holding on as hard as we can to just give me the answers. You know, it's already there. We already got it. Everything's fine. And I think now we've got a new direction of where we're trying to go. And I think the Fox universe has really been helping us guide the MCU. Again, Deadpool 3, the Jesus of Marvel, is going to bring along all his mutants to change up the MCU again. So it's kind of poetic the way it's happening. It all is working together to help us get this understanding of this new direction of the universe that we're going into. Again, all theories and speculations of what I think was going to happen in Fantastic Four, but if it is taking place in 1963, it's going to be cool. Yeah. I think it's got a lot of really good potential. And it also explains why we haven't seen the Fantastic Four in the MCU before. So that's another pretty cool thing. Right. But that all being said, we also have those are all our main topics of the day.
It's all our main topics. We don't have a rumor reel, so
no rumor reel, but
just topics.
But just because I want to hear that sound effect, you know what? I just realized I don't think I was sharing the sound, so nothing happened.
I was gonna
now settle in, folks. It's time for the rumor reel. Rumor reel. There you go. I'm embarrassed.
We did it live.
We did it live.
Yeah.